Yo, and we are live. What is up, my Marks? You see what I did there? My name is Marc. And I called you guys Marks. No? All right, we're trying to make that a thing. But anyway, what is up, my Marks? It is your boy, Pro Wrestling Kingpin. I'm here with my boys, AOK Gaming, the best Twitch gamer on the planet, and Gonzo, aka Raising Personalities, aka the Yugi God, aka the King of the Wrestling Trolls. And we present to you the Smack Talk Wrestling Podcast, episode 27, Bastion Berlin and No Mercy prediction show. My co-hosts, how are we doing tonight?
Phenomenal.
I fell asleep watching NXT and I woke up in a complete daze. So I'm just happy that I'm here right now. You can tell my hair is a little bit messed up.
You fell asleep watching NXT, meaning like the show sucked, or you were just like that tired?
Apparently, I was just that tired. So literally,
Okay.
all of a sudden I closed my eyes for a second, and then it was some random episode of NXT. So I'm here now.
Yo, Derek, the
You
guys,
miss Joe
thanks for
Hendry?
making it, my guy.
Well, that's how I knew I slept, because all of a
His name
sudden
here,
there was nothing like with him, and I said, "Oh, this can't be good." So
All right. Just
You're
had to ask.
You are crazy. All right. Once again, guys, this is the episode 27 of the Smack Talk Wrestling Podcast. We go live every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you could also listen on Spotify the day after we go live. Real quick, if this is your first time viewing or listening to our show, this is a WWE podcast / live stream. We talk about this past week in the WWE. So we thank you guys for joining. Remember, comment anytime you like throughout the show. We will highlight those comments. We love the interaction. So please, don't refrain from that. Real quick, today, like I said, we're predicting both. It's a double PLE weekend. Again, a lot of wrestling coming up this week. And also, we'll play a little bit of Guess the Wrestler. All of us trying to redeem ourselves. So it should be a really fun show, really packed show. But before we get into the show, it's been a couple weeks since we were all together. We didn't do the show last week. We all had some things going on, but the past 2 weeks we lost two wrestlers, guys. So now we got Afa and Sika both gone. Unfortunately, that's a big hit for the Elders. And then we also have, I don't know how to pronounce his real last name, but Sid Udi, I believe. Udi, which is better known as Sid Vicious to us growing up, or Psycho Sid. Really, really bad, week for pro wrestling. I mean, it's crazy that he's not a Hall of Famer. Angel brought that to light in our group chat this week, and I had to fact check, and he's not. But at the same time, I'm not trying to be rude here, but I guess maybe because he was so in the beginning of our era, and it was towards the end of him.
That's
the only
Austin
thing
won his title from, no?
Yeah, I think so. And then the only thing, but the biggest thing that comes to mind, honestly, when it comes to Psycho Sid, is literally ready.
Don't do it.
Is literally ready to rumble when him and Perry Saturn were gonna jump Sal Bandini, and then Salbini just whips their ass. Unfortunately, that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think about him. But memories as a kid.
That's better than where my mind immediately goes for Mr. Sid.
Where did you think was gonna go?
Nope.
Okay, then.
Oh, when Sid literally turns into Sean Livingston. Or technically that happened first, so he was the original Sean Livingston, where his leg just turned into an L.
Your mind just goes into
he jumps off the top rope, and all of a sudden his leg just snaps like a toothpick. You don't remember that?
Oh, no. What year was that?
Just type in Sid Vicious injury, you'll see.
Why would I think of injuries? Only you think of fucking
injuries. Because that's how terrible it was. It was awful.
You're just awful. Why would you think of that? You're crazy. All right. But moving forward, guys, let's talk about SmackDown real quick. So this past week on SmackDown, we had a bunch of, backstage sessions. We had Carmelo Hayes at a barbershop, which is reminiscent of his NXT promo days, chilling at the barbershop. And then, Andrade bursts in the barbershop and said they're going to fight next week. So we're getting yet another Andrade and Carmelo on Friday. We got Legado de Fantasma arguing backstage because things didn't go their way. Interrupted by the random tag team of Corbin and Cruz. And that match is also set up for this Friday. LA Knight issued an open challenge at SmackDown Berlin. I thought it was going to be at the actual Berlin card, but it's not. So he's defending that championship in Berlin on SmackDown. So it's an open challenge. I wonder who does that one. Michin had a hype video promoting her match on SmackDown as well with Nia Jax this Friday. And it seems as though Nia Jax is getting annoyed with Tiffany Stratton and Pretty Deadly already. So already teasing that type of turn. So that's pretty cool. But going on with the match card, we had LA Knight defeating Santos Escobar to retain his United States Championship. Naomi, Bianca, and Jade defeated Unholy Union and Blair Davenport. The Bloodline defeated the Street Profits to retain the tag team championships thanks to Solo and Jacob. Bloodline had a beatdown after the match. DIY helps out the Bloodline, but they still stand tall. And they also had a pre-match promo, which we'll get into that a little later. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens defeat A-Town Down Under, which was their main event, which was questionable to me, but that's on me. And that was set up due to the opening segment of the Grayson Waller effect. So, gentlemen, before we actually talk about the Bloodline, because the Bloodline is pretty much the number one story on SmackDown, do you guys have anything you want to talk about that happened on SmackDown that might have interested you, that caught your eye? Angel, you can go first.
Not too much, I guess. LA Knight defeats Santos, which was a pretty good match. I mean, interesting match, but nothing out of the ordinary. Naomi, Bianca, and Jade, that was a regular ass whooping.
A regular ass whooping.
That's what it is. It's just what it is. So yeah, outside of that, not much. I mean, SmackDown's a little bit less with the drama than Raw is, I think, right now. The most drama we have, I guess, would be Tiffy and Nia, but that's even kind of like wavering right now until we get farther into the story. And obviously the Bloodline is everything, so not much for me.
Right. Gonzo, do you have anything besides the Bloodline before we get into the Bloodline that you want to bring to light, if anything?
As far as SmackDown goes, no.
Yeah.
Now, if it's about Raw, without looking at my notes, I could already name 3 things. So that's
we'll get there in a second. But
it's a testament again what Angel just said, right? The card in itself, nothing left such a lasting impression where I need to, where I can just recall it upon memory. So that's a problem. Raw, different story.
All right. Well, we'll get to Raw next in just a second. But let's talk about Bloodline real quick. Obviously, that's the number one story in pro wrestling right now. So there wasn't really much with the Bloodline besides the actual match itself, and it was a quick promo right before that tag team title match where we heard Solo say that Roman is just done, that he also has got next for the WWE Undisputed Championship with whoever wins at Bash in Berlin. He also asserts his dominance and makes Jacob give up the tag title to Tonga Loa. Massive "you can't wrestle" chance, which was deafening, like, to Tonga Loa. And then Solo makes Jacob officially his enforcer. So what did you guys think of the past 2 weeks? We got Solo kind of coming out on top. They took out Roman Reigns last week. This week he's kind of asserting his dominance because what we said last time is that Jacob is kind of outshining everyone, and it seems as though he's trying to keep Jacob in his place. Angel, so what did you think about that promo?
It was cool, I guess, but it was kind of foreseen. Not much there for us to really dive into a lot.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of just, it is what we see it is. There's not really between the lines stuff going on here. So it's cool to see Jacobs at least on TV. He's in the boot, but I guess he's okay if he's going to be doing like semi stunts. I mean, he's performing, he's walking.
I mean, the dude's running, doing hip attacks like it's nothing. Like it's starting to make me feel as though like it's a work or not.
Yeah, no, you could do some stuff in that boot. So I'm just glad he's okay. That's good. And yeah, the "you can't wrestle" chance, it was kind of cringy. I felt bad because I feel like he hasn't really had a chance to really perform yet. I understand he's botched some things, but I mean, he hasn't had many opportunities so far in the storyline. It's been very minimal, chances for him to really display himself the way Jacobs had. Maybe just Jacobs a different level. He's a different, different tier, but I don't know. I feel like that was just that was tough to hear from the crowd, but I understand it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the Tongans, as people like, they were tag team dominance in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then coming here, it's like
they have a history for sure.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. Gonzo, do you have anything you want to say about that before we move on to Raw?
Stripping of the title, to me, it wasn't really stripping him of the title because technically he wasn't supposed to have been in that tag match anyway. And of course, due to changes, right, because of the eye patch and who knows, whatever else, like physically, that wasn't the roster that they wanted to put out there. So they just bent the rules and said, well, it's the bloodline. So therefore, anyone within the bloodline can now be inserted in this match. So that was heavily implied, and especially for the audience, to be like, well, I guess, that I guess you could do that. So like when the title's taken from him, I don't know, it really didn't impact me. But if you missed that or if you weren't paying attention, like I could understand the significance. Like, yes, he was the one as to who was a part of the team that won the title. I don't know. It's a good visual to have. And there was that odd engagement where he's kind of like looking at him and then the title gets handed over, so to speak. So the building of it that, yes, we have to limit you, give this up. I have other things for you. It's very clear that you are this monster or whatever the case is. But I could see how that angle in itself is going to lead to a possible deterioration of this potential group. And it goes that's step one, right? Here's the first seed that's planted in the minds for all of us to keep in mind. Other than that, I really didn't have too much. I mean, to me, it was just an average segment that it's only, again, just giving you not everything, but just a little bit for storytelling.
Man, nothing pleases Gonzo these days, huh? All right. Tonga Loa is awful. Every time he is in the ring, I just think of the New Japan clip of the lamest chops of all time, says Derek the Guy. I mean, every chop is lame if it's not he who cannot be named, Ric Flair or Gunther. So that's just my opinion, So that's what it is. All right. So moving on to Monday Night Raw, we had a few backstage segments. We had The Miz announced that he's in the IC title tournament. And within that interview, he was approached by Big Bronson Reed. Says that after he's done with Braun Strowman, he's going after The Miz. So I guess we'll see another murder next week. Xavier Woods Xavier Woods was approached by Kofi backstage. It seems as though they talked it out. However, Woods is still teasing his turn that no one really cares about. Unholy Union had a video promo promoting their match in Berlin against Jade and Bianca. One thing that really stood out to me in that promo was that they were saying that they were constantly overlooked as champs, which is true, and yet they are champions. So, I mean, I think they're the best booked tag team, men or women, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Braun Breaker asked about the IC title tournament winners that we'll get into in a second. It's interesting that he mentioned his family versus the Bloodline's family and how the Bloodline family never beat Braun Breaker's Steiner family. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then he says the worst is yet to come. So more Braun Breaker murders on the horizon as well. We got some promos. Judgment Day, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre all had promos promoting their matches in Berlin. Rey Mysterio kind of reignited his feud with Dom. But the best promo of the night, in my opinion, was Drew and Punk as they just went on an all-out brawl promoting that strap match, which was brutal. It seems like McIntyre always takes those big-ass bumps, dude. And, like, him just getting hit with the straps, that shit was just nasty.
The
dude.
Security guard got hit with them too.
In the face. One of them got hit in the face, and I'm like, dude, CM Punk, did you just mess up? Like, like that was mad. That was mad crazy. And last promo, we had an Uncle Howdy video promo explaining why we finally got the explanation as why he was targeting Chad and called Chad Gable a false prophet. I thought that was pretty cool. Getting into the match card, we had Judgment Day defeating the LWO thanks to Liv Morgan. Dom pins his dad once again. Damage Control defeated Pure Fusion Yu-Gi-Oh! Collective thanks to a returning Zelina Vega. Jey Uso defeating Kofi Kingston and Karrion Kross to advance in the IC tournament. Something notable about that is that even the announced team was teasing Woods' turn, so I just think that's definitely coming. Pete Dunne defeats Xavier Woods and The Miz in a shocking win. Seems as this guy's just getting whooped on all shows, but I digress. But he advances in the IC tournament. He advances in the IC tournament. Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed led to a no contest as the match turned into a parking lot brawl, which was absolutely amazing and my favorite thing of the night. And lastly, Uncle Howdy wins his debut against Chad Gable thanks to the Wyatt Six. Angel, do you have anything that really stood out to you on Monday Night Raw tonight?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm not gonna go over. I'm not gonna go over Howdy or Strowman or Reed. I'm sure you guys will take care of that stuff. I do want to say, the Miz got screwed. He should have won.
Yep.
I don't understand why he's not winning at all.
Yep.
I don't understand why Pete Dunne is winning every match he's in right now, and this guy is on pace to be like a three title fucking holder right now because he's not losing any matches he's in any tournaments. I'll tell you that right now. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was, Liv. You know, Liv is dominating as always, so that's great to see. And is there anything else I want to say? Oh, Unholy Union. I mean, that's great that they're promoting themselves, but I'm just not that excited about it, man. I'm just not. I don't know. They get to show up on both shows. Yeah, they're booking them great. I'm just not excited about that tag team themselves, I guess. I guess they're better than Pure Fusion Collective, though, so I can't talk too much garbage about them.
All right. So
and then
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, the Braun Breaker promo was good because no one's gonna beat him, and he said exactly what he should have said. I'm done.
So before Gonzo said he had 3 things I think he wanted to talk to. So give me a second. I want to touch on what Angel brought to light. The Miz, you guys know how I feel about the Miz. I think Angel and I are both like Team Miz at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Like he just needs to freaking leave, but he's not because he just gets paid a ton and he has his own show with his wife. And but there's no way in hell that Pete Dunne should have won that triple threat. Maybe Kofi, but when you have the Miz who is chasing Chris Jericho, the greatest of all time's record, Intercontinental Championship record, that in itself, even though we know he's not going to beat Braun Breaker, the fact that you have a guy that may be possibly going advancing to that fatal 4-way, someone that has that level of the IC title, just further cements, Braun Breaker's dominance. And even if, say, he would have advanced and won that fatal 4-way next week, him versus Braun would be a banger of a match, number 1. Number 2, if you promote that match, I mean, The Miz, we all know how great he is on the mic. I mean, that's just would have been a great story. And I feel like that's a big problem within all of pro wrestling. If it's not your main event title, I feel like the lack of story, it's like always like, okay, who's the next challenger? We get one-offs, and that's just my problem with that. The Miz deserve better.
Don't you think he should have at least made it to the fatal 4-way?
100%.
Minimum?
100%.
He couldn't even make it to the fatal 4-way, bro. Like, what the hell? Sorry, continue.
No, 100%. I 1,000,000,000% agree with you. Trust me. That's why I said he should have at least been in that match, but whatever. I guess we get Pete Dunne. I guess Pete Dunne might be the sacrificial lamb because Angel says he's not losing. So, lastly, before we get to Gonzo, Unholy Union. You might think they're boring. You might think that you're just not there.
Boring. They just don't do it for me, I guess. I don't think they're terrible, but they just don't do it for me.
I don't even. They're not captivating to me in regards to like a gimmick. It's just the fact that what they've done with those titles, going from 3 brands, promoting that, having great matches. That's what I love about Unholy Union.
Though. That's the booking. No?
It's still them. They're putting on banger. You still got to perform. You could send Angel Delgado out there, but if he doesn't perform, it doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. But it's just that because that in itself, they're the best booked tag team, men or women.
It's a prestigious
all of pro wrestling.
Prestigious title to hold because of how many people that can go after at any given time. So.
It is, and I just feel like you're kind of giving them some unfair, even though you're not that interested. But the fact that they're actually being booked and they're actually a tag team in the women's division, because it's not just like a random mix that was put together, you got to give them a little more credit. Okay. That's just me. Gonzo, you got a lot of topics. Let's hear what you got.
Without even looking at my notes, probably my favorite thing of the entire night was the Strowman versus Bronson Reed segment.
Which was just shocker to me.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
I don't know if shocked was the appropriate word for me. It was, they did something that doesn't really happen all too much, and you've already hinted at it, that I'm just this miserable POS that hates everything.
You are.
It brought me back to when I was actually a kid, to where they started in the ring, what you're seeing, and it made its way out to the backstage. There's fighting, there's all of these different things, and there's a lot of wow moments that then ensued after that. So not too often does something actually transport me back to a younger version of myself. So I literally felt like a kid again watching that match. And it hit on so many different levels. The splash that potentially crippled Braun Strowman. I mean,
Tsunami.
I apologize, the tsunami. And it's not just a splash. Now it's the tsunami, right? They have specificity now. Unfortunately, one of my takes last week was, I asked Marc, I said, who allowed the individual from Damage Control to use the spear and it didn't end a match? It didn't even set up to end a match. It was just used like it was a basic punch. I can't remember who that was, but when they allow superstars, wrestlers to do stuff like that, it takes away from the significance of what that move is supposed to mean, right? Because so many people potentially use it, or you are telling the entire roster, no one's using this, and only this one individual is going to be allowed to use it, right? So the Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman match, Bronson Reed, in a matter of 3 weeks, he has now solidified the tsunami as this destructive force that you have people chanting one more, one more, one more. And it doesn't matter who it is. Seth Rollins, The Miz, R-Truth, Braun Strowman. And I was really worried if you got Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed so quickly, because you're building Bronson Reed to some point face off against Seth Rollins. That's what I personally believe. He took him out. At some point, you're going to build him so that way he's going to have significance. But to then immediately put Bronson Reed with Braun Strowman week 3 out of this, and it's only been, prior to this 2 weeks of him destroying people, I was concerned as to what this would mean, right? So if you allow Bronson Reed to get struck, to get hit, is he supposed to be fragile? Is he supposed to take these hits? And interestingly enough, I was rather, again, blown away to the spots and what they were doing, because they also made Braun Strowman look extremely effective in addition to Bronson Reed. And with Braun Strowman taking the L in so many ways, I don't really think it hurts him whatsoever. So they had, to me, both men come out of this segment looking extremely, extremely well. The other thing I just wanted to talk about, you got your finger up, is that you acknowledging Solo Sikoa, or the original tribal chief there?
Just want to interject.
Yes.
Before you go, because I feel like you're going to go to another topic. So 100% agree with you. Fantastic. Number one, you said it doesn't hurt Braun Strowman, and you're right, it doesn't, because he's not doing anything. That's why I was nervous and surprised about this match. I thought this match was just going to be like a Bronson Reed
Fest.
A Bronson Reed Tsunami Fest, and the fact that they took it backstage, that was just phenomenal. And number two, this is how you create a star. Bravo. Bravo to WWE, AEW, TNA, everyone else, take notes, because 3 weeks ago, Bronson Reed was boring and had no direction, and we had no idea what he was doing. And then he goes and does a splash, which is now we call it the tsunami, which quite a few people have used and still a regular move, but yet you got behind it. Why? Because you go onto the rope and you just hit it, just tsunami after tsunami after tsunami, and he's 300 pounds. I mean, Mean Angel went to Raw and we saw him hit it on Sami Zayn, and we're like, oh, okay, cool, great. This guy's huge. But now you have this guy get the crowd behind you, even though he's a heel, because they want to see people just get obliterated. That's how you make a star. This is phenomenal. And as soon as we're on Netflix, this guy's only going to get better.
I think it helped everybody involved. Braun Strowman as well. Like you said, he wasn't doing much besides running around the ring chasing people for a little bit.
That guy is huge. Pause. Okay. All right. Gonzo, you can continue.
I was just going to talk about the triple threat match. I know you guys already had talked about it and discussed it. That match was phenomenal, by the way. Like if you
Which
took
one?
out
There was two.
the one with the Bruiserweight
Oh
and the
god.
Miz,
He done.
Okay.
that match was
That was
really
a good match. I just didn't like.
We just didn't like the
It was a good
outcome.
match. Yeah.
Again, me not even making mention of the outcome, just from a entertainment and wrestling standpoint, that match was very, very good. And so the Miz, if people forgot, he can still go. Like he can still move. He put that on full display.
That's our
He can
argument.
do everything.
That's
Again,
our freaking argument.
I'm not saying anything negatively about any of the wrestlers in here. And so for Pete Dunne, he's been basically losing left and right. And for him to come out as the winner for this, I was actually shocked by that. So again, the Bruiserweight, he is all of a sudden within 3 weeks, he's made himself more of a household name out of nowhere. So all of a sudden, the big strong boy, I don't know what happened to him. Is he hurt? Is he injured? Because
he got hurt.
he got hurt. Okay, because he's nowhere to be found, and you've got Pete Dunne just running around doing Pete Dunne things now. So, I mean,
Beating the shit out of Sheamus and getting IC title shots, and
he didn't even beat Sheamus. This is the wild thing, right?
And getting speed title shots. This guy's in every single storyline that isn't the Bloodline or fucking the Judgment Day. He's in
all with a name change, right? And I'm actually enjoying it.
I just love that Sheamus keeps calling him Butch just to piss him off. That's just amazing to me. That's just amazing to me.
It sounds like a raising personality angle right there.
That's the only thing.
That's
the only thing I like. I mean, I love Pete Dunne. I think him in Black and Gold NXT was peak Pete Dunne. But right now, I just don't care. I just don't care right now.
His run right now is unreal. Like he's Chris Jericho right now, dude. He really.
All right. First of all, calm down. Calm down. Chill out. Chill out.
I'm actually enjoying Pete Dunne's run. So as Butch, I could care less. But the Pete Dunne character, without the big strong boy, he has me very entertained at this moment in time. So
he's on 3 times a week. You're gonna see him 4 times a week if you count.
The more exposure I get, the more I want this person. So the other thing I was just going to talk about, I am completely biased, but I could care less, is of course Uncle Howdy doing his in-ring performance. Mark, you had expressed a long time ago, can Bo Dallas / Uncle Howdy / Rotunda actually wrestle? He actually looked better than Bray Wyatt in this match from just a wrestling standpoint. That's just me. Unfortunately, there's a lot of theatrics. There's a lot of wows. There's a lot of these ridiculous things that tend to happen. And there are maybe some points where the wrestling is actually okay. I thought he did a phenomenal job. There were some callbacks and homages that he, of course, paid to his brother, with him standing in the corner. And then, he flips reverse to look at him. And, of course, the Sister Abigail, the mandible claw. But to be truthful with you, he looked really good in that. And I think Gable also was a wonderful individual to have him wrestle with, because Gable also made him look phenomenal on top of that. And it went for 10, 15 minutes, I think, that match, possibly. I mean, it wasn't something that lasted only 5 minutes, 1 second. I will say that I was rather upset, and I don't know, because I watched it on Hulu, and this may have been cut for me, but his entrance, I didn't get to see his entrance. So I just saw him in the ring, and then the guys ended up just wrestling from there.
He had a full entrance with the
it was cut. It was cut.
White 6 was out there too with him.
It was cut. Okay, I didn't get to see that when I was watching on Hulu. So it went from the Sid Vicious promo of, again, introducing and showing him, to all of a sudden he was just in the middle of the ring. I said, I was like, come on. I actually wanted to see him come in.
That's not what happened. Yeah.
What music did he come out to? Was it Bray Wyatt's original song?
Oh, the Wyatt 6 music.
The Wyatt 6. Okay. Because when he won the match, it actually turned into Bray Wyatt's song. That's why I was just a little bit curious.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice either. The presentation of him is always hitting. The in-ring ability was good, but
didn't Bo Dallas get recruited, or not recruited, but didn't he go up? Didn't he get called up faster than Bray originally? Wasn't he considered a better wrestler?
Bray was called up with the Nexus faction, so no. So Bray was original,
or maybe Bo got signed to NXT first. There was something Bo did first.
So Bray Wyatt was called up not as Bray Wyatt, but it was Husky Harris.
I'm pretty sure Bo got called up to WWE before Husky Harris.
No.
I'm pretty sure he did.
He didn't. It was Husky Harris, then he went down. And when Bo Dallas was in NXT, that's when Bray Wyatt's thing already had came, and he had started with the Wyatt family. So I know they might have come in together, but as far as getting called out first, the Nexus was way before Bo Dallas. So I could be wrong, but that's what it was. But when it comes to Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, whatever you want to call him, the in-ring was pretty decent. It's just like, what's the story now? So you've gone over on Chad Gable, Gonzo. Is this little feud over? Like, what happens now? So that's my big question. So you have a guy that has been presented extremely well. The whole family has been presented really well. He wore the mask in ring, which was dope. So he was able to wrestle with his gear and his persona with, his stuff. I thought he put on a decent match. I mean, I felt as though Bray Wyatt he wasn't outstanding in the ring. So if he outperformed him in the ring, I'll probably give you that. I mean, I have to sit there and really watch matches. But the match was good, entertaining, crowd pleasing. You saw the Wyatt Six come and basically aid him into victory. But like, where do we go now? Is the feud over? Does the feud continue? Like, what happens?
Is that a question for me?
If that's why I said Gonzo.
The feud's going to continue because I feel like Ivy Nile and Sister Abigail, right? Has it been identified that it's Sister Abigail or Abby the Witch? What's Nikki Cross's character?
Abby the Witch.
Abby the Witch.
So I feel like there's still story to be told, specifically with those two ladies. So the inclusion of American Made and the Wyatt Six technically can still happen. Now, as far as the master one or the masterful one versus Uncle Howdy, I could see how potentially this could get to a pay-per-view and have it be like a cage match or something where there's no outside interference and you're just having to now stay here and face your fears type of thing. And I could potentially see, or it could be maybe another singles match with the stipulation to it of some kind. I don't necessarily think it's done, but if they were to pivot off of this, I mean, the same dynamic where you have in disingenuous individual will be identified by the Wyatt Six, and they're going to go after that person next, right? So it's vague enough, and there's a lot of characters potentially, like a Dominic Mysterio at some point, potentially could be targeted by the Wyatt Six. He disregards family. He constantly is shitting on them. Oh, my deadbeat dad, you cheated on your girlfriend / your wife with, again, the chicky tendy queen that allows me to play PlayStation 5 all the time. I mean, like, that could just be one example of a person that they could go after. But that name is way too big for the Wyatt Six, at least at this time, to go after. I know we talked about this before. The ability to potentially just go after maybe more of the mid-card level individuals and then work your way up to where you get to see the Wyatt Six at some point get engaged with more of, the upper card, if that makes sense.
I could see that. I mean, definitely is going to be a little more. It's just like I'm still just so concerned as far as the direction for the Wyatt Six. That's just me. So it's like I felt like this is the first match, but they definitely need to have a bigger blow off. Some bigger things happen into it before the Wyatt Six can move on. So maybe Bad Blood. I would assume. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Bad Blood would make sense.
They don't have a match this weekend, right?
Mm-mm.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick to shut down Angel. Husky Harris made his main roster debut in 2010. Bo Dallas made his main roster debut May 23rd, 2014. So there's that.
What about when he defeated Primo in 2011?
Who? Oh, Primo and Epico? That shit don't count. It's a dark match. Main roster televised. That's what that was. All right. So if there's nothing else for Raw, moving on to NXT.
Wait, we didn't talk about Judgment Day.
Oh, I mean, you said you didn't have anything else you wanted to talk about.
I thought you were going to talk about Judgment Day.
Oh, I could give a shit about Judgment Day, man. I'm kind of Judgment Day out, but what do you want to say about Judgment Day?
Dude, they had a freaking 1 hour opening segment between their promo and their match. Like, they took up a third of the show.
All right. So here's the thing. So Judgment Day, much like the Bloodline, have dominated their respective brands. SmackDown, the Bloodline, like we discussed earlier, they had a little mini promo, where you saw Solo do his thing, and then they had the match. At this point, they're just promoting their match. The Judgment Day is just promoting their match for Bash in Berlin with the Terror Twins and Liv and Dom. Did we have some good moments? Yes, we did. And then we led into an 8-man tag between the LWO again and the Judgment Day, which ultimately reignited a feud between Dom and his father, which I'm sure we're going to get WrestleMania, Dom versus Ray Part 2 at WrestleMania again. So other than that, I mean, there's nothing that really stood out to me. So if there's something that you guys would like to talk about.
Is it boring for you to watch them go after the Terror Twins and vice versa?
No, because we know what the end game is going to be, is that they're both going to have their singles match, and how we get there is the challenge, right? So we see the mixed tag team match, which is going to be great. Honestly, it can go either way. We'll discuss our predictions in a little bit, but it's like I need us to go. Not I need us, because obviously it's slow. It's a slow burn, but like at this point, I could almost see how the entire feud is gonna go over, because I feel like Liv is so hot right now, and Rhea's so hot she doesn't really need a championship. I don't see Liv relinquishing that belt to Rhea, and Dom has to stay hot, otherwise he's gonna get boring again. And I don't see Damian. I mean, I can see Damian Priest beating him, but I'm not captivated. I'm not as captivated in the revenge story as I am as the revenge story for Roman Reigns, if that makes sense.
Right.
I like, it's entertaining. It's funny. I mean, seeing Dom, make out and hug whatever Liv is just so cringy to me, because I just think that this guy just got married and it's all over his IG a few months ago. Other than that, it's like, I like it, but I feel like there's better stories on Raw right now, especially Bronson Reed finally got us got us away from the Judgment Day talking.
That's why we discussed the other things, but I didn't want to just skip over Judgment Day like that.
Well, that's why I gave it to you guys this week. I was like, did you guys want to talk about something? An hour of segment of an 8-man tag, which was decent, but I felt like the story there was Dom and Ray. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, Ray lost again, second time in a row.
That's false. This guy I love Dominic Mysterio and Liv. That is completely false. Don't know where that came from.
Oh, you're talking to that? I thought you were talking to me.
No. He said Marcos really. First of all, don't say my government name. Calm down. But it says Marcos really doesn't like.
You said my full name today.
No, I'm talking about the guy. The comment.
Yeah.
The comment.
You said my full name here.
My bad. But yeah, that's just me. I mean, unless you guys have anything else you wanted to say about Judgment Day, I was going to move on to NXT.
No, that's fine. I thought we were going to say something. Go ahead, continue.
Alrighty then. All right, so NXT quick recap. We had a couple backstage segments. We had Wesley's little promo, video promo, which recaps the journey with Zachary Wentz with MSK and without him. Angel's boy Eddie Thorpe showing off his DJ skills to girls with Ashanti the Adonis.
That's gotta be the lamest gimmick I've ever seen, dude.
Chicka Slim Shady, bro.
I'd rather. Oh my god. I can't stand it, dude.
Then we saw another Brooks Jensen.
I'd rather watch Eugene.
Hey, Eugene was dope. Don't go after Eugene. Jada Parker had a great backstage interview. So she's the number one contender for the NXT Championship. She recaps her journey and how quickly she ascended to the top. Much like Roxanne, very quick to the top. She crashed the interview, and Roxanne said something that was just so dope to me, is that she's the prodigy and that she crushes stories. And I thought that was just amazing.
She got slapped in the fucking face.
She got slapped in the fucking face, which is dope. Pete Dunne had an interview because this guy's just a superstar apparently. Says the NXT title is still his goal, and that he's
Pete Dunne merch, dude.
And he's gonna face Trick Williams next week. Ethan Page was meeting with Ava about his antics last week. We saw how that ended. We'll talk about that. Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. Hendry says when he wins the championship, Trick Williams will be the first in line. Metaphor had like a backstage, like trying to stay positive. Lexus King came to talk shit to them, and then that led to a brawl between Oro Mensah and Lexus King. Chase U had a little lecture promo as they usually do. I always think those are pretty cool. Axiom and Frazier crashed to promote their match, and then lastly we had Tony D'Angelo. Obafemi took over his private room at his restaurant to basically force a sit down between the Don and Oba. I thought that was so dope. And they're promoting their match for No Mercy as well. We had an in-ring.
Uh-oh. We're going to lose the Kingpin here.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, he materialized back.
You're back.
Okay, that's weird. All right. Anyway, so we had an in-ring segment between Wesley and Zachary Wentz, their face-off. It got extremely personal. It was a great promo. Wesley was basically saying how he got fired, how he ditched him, and how he's just a bigger star. And one big thing is that WWE consistently does. It says that Zachary Wentz is just a TNA wrestler and Wesley is a WWE superstar, meaning WWE's better. And I thought it was very interesting. You guys weren't really watching, but Zach Wentz kind of gave an actual apology on air. If you guys don't know why he was fired, I would just say Google it. I really don't want to put his stuff out here. But he got fired for out of TV reasons, off-screen reasons. There we go. So he kind of gave like a really heartfelt like apology during that promo. So I thought that was pretty good. Joe Hendry live in concert sings a song about Ethan Page. I'm sure you guys just love that. That was kind of the highlight of the show, if you ask me. Honestly, it wasn't that great. Trick Williams will be the special referee at the title match at No Mercy. And as far as matches, we had Fatal Influence defeating Metaphor thanks to Jasmine Nix. Carbon Petrovich defeats Izzy Dame, which is kind of crazy to me because that's who they sent to TNA to fight for the Knockouts Championship, but Izzy Dame just taking L's on regular TV. The D'Angelo family defeats the No Quarter Catch Crew. Kalani Jordan defeats TNA's Rosemary, which was pretty cool. Wendy Chu attacked Kalani Jordan post-match. Brooks Jensen defeated Malik Blade like anybody cares. And Joe Coffey defeated Javon Evans thanks to a Gallus distraction. We all know what you guys want to talk about. But before we talk about Joe Hendry, is there anything else on NXT that stood out to you guys? Also say his name in here, Pierce.
Beautiful. Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
First, Gons.
Coffee versus what's the other guy's name?
Javon Evans.
Did they do a character shift on him? He seemed more not Coffee, the other guy.
Javon?
Yeah, he seemed more childish heading to the ring. Yeah, because like I've seen him do promos before and he's very serious, he's to the point. But tonight, and maybe I was just in a state of delirium, but when they were doing the backstage interview on him, to me, he seemed more not as serious. He seemed more, I use the word childish, more playful, where he sounded more silly than he did serious. So
I don't think childish is the word. I think you hit it on the nose with playful, but his promos are always kind of like that.
This one stood out way more than it has in the past, though.
I think he said something to her like, "Oh, I forgot about the interview," because he was like about to walk past her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like part of it or if he actually forgot about the interview because he kind of almost like ran through her when she was trying to stop him to talk. So maybe he did really just forget and then he kind of just winged it. I don't know. It was a weird moment because I know WWE does a lot of those entrance promo / interviews. I don't know how often NXT does it. Is this a new thing in NXT? Maybe he was surprised by it. Maybe?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, I don't know, but Gonzo, I mean, the majority of his backstage video promos are like playful and growing up as a kid, reminiscing, stuff like that. And he's bouncy.
Yeah, they've been blasting that stuff about him being like broke and this and that.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's why I said this one was a little bit different, is all. To me, it just stood out, and so
I think he's just a major face. Like even when he fought for the title with Trick, like it was all in respect. Like he never actually had a real rivalry with him. So it's just he's like a super face. That's his character right now.
Interesting. I don't know. Any other questions, Gonzo?
The Night Queen. Where did like what's her thing? She just appeared out of nowhere, and all of a sudden she's like this massive monster that's chasing down the women's national champion or
You talk about Wendy
American
Chu?
champion.
Wendy Chu?
Yeah.
So she was
following your girl Paxley first.
Yeah, she was a face a year ago. She got hurt. She came back, and now she's a heel turn, kind of like this little demonic character. I mean, it's intriguing. It's really cool that they paired her up with Rosemary, who has a very similar demonic character in TNA. So I thought that was pretty cool for anyone that watches TNA. I think I'm like the only one. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Her stalking of Kalani Jordan, I think, has been done really well. Paired with Tatum Paxley has been done really well. She could definitely go in the ring. I was just never for her, sleepy time gimmick that she's always had. I've never been about it. But that NXT little arena has always had it over. I was never about it. But I always like little demonic characters, and so I mean it's okay right now. Angel, do you have anything you wanted to say about it?
About her or NXT?
Yeah, that and do you have anything you want to say?
Oh no, nothing more about her. I mean, she's been running around for a little bit, but yeah, we finally get to see her actually do some action. And then I don't know. Wesley's promo, the only good part was
only good part.
I'm a superstar.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The only good part was when he said, "I'm superstar, you're a wrestler." But he repeated himself so much. He said, "I'm on a different level than you" about 4 times. I don't know if he was like fumbling, but
I thought that whole segment was great.
And over again. And
I thought it got so personal. I thought it was great.
Wentz did beat him, in my opinion, when he said, "You were about to quit for the 3rd time until we showed up." Like, that's literally what you're about to do. So, like, I don't know. That's what I thought about that promo. That's
interesting. All right, Joe Hendry, guys. How did you like his segment? Say his name here, Pierce.
Gonzo, did you like it?
I fell asleep, so unfortunately I didn't get to see it.
Dude, you're the worst. Prepare for the damn show. I'm about to mute you.
I fell asleep.
I'm muting you. I'm muting you. Angel, how did you like the promo, since I could just talk to you right now?
Oh, it was hilarious. I mean, he had the clips ready. He's like The Rock with LA Knight, with like, I don't even know how to explain Joe Hendry right now. It's just like all over the place with his ability, but yeah, it was hilarious. Him making fun of Adam Page. What the hell's his name?
Ethan Page. Not Hangman Adam Page. Ethan Page.
Hangman. Ethan Page was great. Ethan coming out and getting pinned again was hilarious. 1, 2, 3. The only thing I don't like, I'm not a big fan of Ethan Page, but like, why are you gonna put so many other people over him during, like, he always ends up winning the match that matters, but like him getting his ass kicked between every single promo is like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Joe Hendry makes sense actually, so I'll let it slide. But when he was getting his ass kicked before in the last
by Ora Mensa.
Yeah. By Aura, yeah, like I was like, oh come on, man, like how many times is this guy gonna get, like, he's almost like the Kurt Angle champ, where everyone hates him, but he's the champ. Like, that's what it feels like right now.
I mean, he's a heel. Everyone hates him. I mean, everyone's going after him.
No, I know, but it's not. Yeah. It's not hate where, like, it's not a heel hate. It's like I suck hate. You know what I mean? Like, he's not good.
He is great. You guys need. I do not tolerate Ethan
about,
Page
like,
slander,
the character is I suck because I lose a lot. Do you get what I'm saying by I suck? Not that he's a sucky character. That he can't win. But even though he does win, do you get what I'm saying? I don't know.
No, I guess I don't know, dude. He's great, dude. He's great on the mic. He's great in ring. I hate his music though. But other than that, I mean, I don't tolerate Ethan Page slander. But that's on me. All right. With that being said, since Gonzo didn't do his homework, it's time for Guess the Wrestler. It is Kingpin versus Gonzo. Finally, we have a new matchup for you this week. It is presented by AOK Gaming. Angel. Just to refresh the records, I haven't played in a long time, so I am 1-1-1. Gonzo has yet to win. He's 0-3-2, and Angel, the presenter, is 3-0 with 3 ties. So, Angel, if you can go ahead and put 90 seconds on the clock. Calling us off. Gonzo, you could ask the first question. And remember, we're on teams here, buddy. We're trying to get you a win or at least just guess it regardless. All right?
You said 90 seconds?
90 seconds. 90 seconds on the Klizak.
Is that all we do? 90? Damn, that's pretty short. Okay.
Yep, 90. I mean, the normal game on social media is 60 seconds.
Okay. I'm ready when you guys are.
Count us off. Gonzo, you asked the first question.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is the wrestler a male?
Yes.
Is the wrestler active?
Yes.
Are they bald?
No.
Are they on Monday Night Raw?
No.
Are they on NXT?
No.
Is this person in a faction?
Currently?
Yes.
Or
Currently.
ever? Currently, no. Currently, no.
Okay.
Kevin Owens.
No.
Was he in a faction? Has this person been a world champion?
They have.
Randy Orton.
No.
Oh, then that was my guess. Has this person been an Intercontinental Championship?
Yes.
Intercontinental. Do they have long hair?
No.
30
30 seconds.
Oh, is this person Sami Zayn? I don't know. I have to think.
No.
Is their finisher a submission move?
No.
Has this person won a tag team championship?
Yes.
Legado del Fantasma?
No.
We're gonna lose.
I said they're not in a faction.
Oh, whoops.
God.
Okay.
Does this person currently have a championship?
Yes. Your final guess is time's up.
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotta think of Gonzo's.
So I get a guess, and then I get to do an announcement of who I think it is.
Sure.
I think I know
You can give
who
me
it
a
is.
guess. You can give me you can give me a question and then go for a guess after I answer. And
Okay.
then Mark has to go.
Got it. Okay. So they did win an IC title. They have won a world title. They're not part of a faction right now. They're active. They're male. They have short hair.
I think I know who it is. I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
Okay.
No,
God,
it can't be that person either. I was going to say someone, but you already rolled out one of the attributes of this person. Okay, so one of my questions that I'll ask then is this... Does this wrestler wear gloves?
While they wrestle?
Yes.
No, they do not.
There goes my guess for that person.
Well, just pick a person, please, because I think I won.
I feel like the clues you guys have is enough.
I think I won. I think I'm pretty sure I have it. If you just make a damn guess. This is past 90 seconds, Gonzo.
Hey,
Make a damn guess, dude.
I'm winless. There's a reason I'm
The game is
winless.
90 fucking seconds. It's 90 seconds.
Swearing.
Make a
They
damn
get
guess.
Canceled.
Make a damn guess.
Well, I was gonna say AJ Styles, but that's not right. So
It's not. It's a current champion. It's Cody Rhodes.
Oh, Gonzo, your guess is AJ Styles?
I said AJ Styles.
I just told you. I just said it's Cody Rhodes.
It's Cody Rhodes.
Thank you. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God.
When I said not
Freaking
on
Gonzo.
Raw, like that should have given you like all the clues you need. The only other person you could have guessed was LA Knight or Logan Paul.
Is current champions. That was the question. Is
So
this person
it's
current
just LA
champion?
Knight. Oh no, LA Knight's never been an IC. Oh no, he does have one IC, but didn't you ask world champ?
He does not have an
World
IC.
champ.
The United States Championship is his first
Oh, yeah,
championship,
you're right.
and I
No,
I asked if this person won a world championship.
yeah. So those clues.
And
was enough for it to be-
Gonzo knocked off the bald and he knocked off the long hair. And then when it was a current champion, there was only one answer.
Because you're gonna say Roman. Was Roman your other guess?
Roman was the other guess until Gonzo said long hair,
Okay.
and then once
All right, well, there you
after
go.
long
Mark
hair,
gets the dub.
go. All right, Angel versus Gonzo again, like we haven't seen that before. Next week, tune in.
So
He's
what's your
very
streak, dude? You're like
he is 0-4-3, and he's
07
very
Lion,
disappointed. He's very
07
disappointed right
Lions,
now.
or
He's very
whatever.
disappointed right now. All right, let's move on. Main event time. Let's guess this double PLE weekend. Gonzo, do you still have the records of our last PLE guess or on hand or no?
0-4-3.
I'll talk about the PLE guess. The PLE
We're
guess.
talking about PLE guesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do have. That's all the way back from July 31st.
That was the last PLE that we guessed. Yes. That was SummerSlam. No.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get it going. We got Bash in Berlin. First one up, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship. We have the Unholy Union versus Jade and Bianca. Angel, who wins?
Jade and Bianca.
All right, Gonzo, who wins?
I'm just gonna pick Unholy Union.
I'm picking Unholy Union as well.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Trash.
Yep. How's that trash? You just
Trash.
guessed it. All right, whatever. All right, next up, we got the Terror Twins versus Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Angel, who wins?
I want Liv and Dom to win, but I can. This is one of the only times where Liv can get pinned and not lose the title, so it's probably gonna be Damian and Rhea.
Gonzo, who wins?
We're gonna do the Terror Twins. Why not?
All right, Terror Twins across the board. All right, we got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match. Gonzo, who wins?
CM Punk. It's always CM Punk.
Okay. Angel?
That didn't work out for you last time. It's gonna be CM Punk this time, though. I mean, we need a rubber match, right?
That's correct. CM Punk across the board. All right, we have the Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes defending against Kevin Owens. Like I
You're gonna
have to
this
ask.
question.
All right, Cody
on.
Rhodes for all three of us. Got it. And lastly, the main event, Bash in Berlin. Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Orton. Who wins?
This one's interesting, actually.
The people of Germany win.
I'm saying Gunther.
I mean, I know Gunther's like 99.99, but there's still that like 0.01% chance somehow Randy, like, I don't know. Like, if they were to give him the title, would you be that shocked? Like, you'd be like, what
Yeah,
the
I'd be
hell,
very shocked
Germany?
because he just got the
Really?
championship. Yes, he just got the title. There's no way. This is his first defense. There's no way.
His first?
Yeah, it's his first defense. There's no way.
Man, I'm gonna say Randy just for fun. I know
Alrighty
it's not gonna
then.
be Randy, but...
Alrighty then. All right, on to NXT No Mercy. We got Zachary Wentz of TNA versus Wesley. Who wins? Angel.
The WWE talent always wins in these shows.
All right, Wesley. Gonzo, who wins?
TNA.
Okay, Zachary Wentz.
Yeah, I can't stand Wesley,
Why?
so
Why would Zachary Wentz win? Why?
because I don't like Wes.
Okay. All right. Well, Wesley's winning
reality,
this
though.
match.
Doesn't matter who you
Uh,
like.
Really. Wesley wins. All right. NXT Championship on the line. Chase U defending against Axiom and Frazier in a rematch. Who wins? Angel.
Me? Chase you.
Okay.
It should be Axiom and Frazier, but unfortunately, Chase U is going to win this.
Should be. All right. Chase U's winning this, but Axiom and Frazier break up post-match. That's my bold prediction. We have the Men's North American Championship, Oba Femi defending against the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. Gonzo, who wins?
It's always Oba. I go back to where I said over a month ago that man should not lose at all during his NXT reign.
Okay. Angel?
Tony.
I am also saying Tony D'Angelo wins. He's probably the most over superstar that Oba has faced. And I think it's time for Oba to chase.
If
All right.
Oba's gonna lose, now's the time. Yeah.
I agree. The Women's North American Championship, Kalani Jordan defends against Wendy Chu. Gonzo, who wins?
Unfortunately, Wendy Chu's losing.
Oh. I got Wendy Chu winning. Angel, who do you win?
I have Chu as well. I think the story goes more along with her. The belt will go along farther with her. Kalani's nice, but I mean, it needs to move on a little bit. And Chu has more going on with other characters. Kalani doesn't have much going on besides like, hey girl, like in the back stage. Like she doesn't have anything going on.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, like talking
What
about
the
her,
hell was that?
her gymnastics and saying hi to everybody. It's like, okay, what's
Hey,
going on?
girl. You're stupid. That was funny. All right, we got the Women's NXT Championship. Roxanne Perez defending against Jada Parker. Angel, who wins?
Jada.
Ooh. Okay. Gonzo, who wins?
Pop rocks.
Damn. I'm gonna say Roxanne Perez retains in a very, very close match.
You actually had to think about wow, you actually had to think about that, huh?
Well, Jada Parker's my girl, dude. I like Jada Parker, but I don't think she's ready.
I like Jada Parker too, but I
don't
didn't
think
think you were gonna think that hard. I thought Roxanne was a lock for you. Okay.
Nah, because Jada's good, man, but I don't know if she's ready. So I'm gonna go with the one that
I
is
just
still.
feel like this is becoming Roman Reigns territory with Roxanne. Like she's just never gonna lose at this point. There's not much talent left. She literally says it every week. Who else can I fight?
It's true. All right, we got the men's NXT Championship. Ethan Page defending against Joe Hendry with Trick Williams as the special guest referee. Gonzo, who wins?
Ethan Page.
Angel, who wins?
I don't care if Joe Hendry faces prime Hulk Hogan. I will always take Joe Hendry.
So NXT never sends anybody good to TNA. TNA has been getting wrecked as far as getting talent over there, but there's no denying Joe Hendry right now. And Ethan Page
He's
is
bigger than NXT.
Ethan Page is technically not like a WWE original. He's an NXT original. He's technically a TNA original.
He is.
So I think having TNA go over on this one won't be a major hit, and I am actually going to pick Joe Hendry to take that championship back to TNA. I think WWE loves him that much, where it's okay because he's been on NXT so much.
They can take that contract from him whenever that retires.
Correct.
5 years
Correct.
from now. It's worth it to them.
Correct. So I'm taking Joe Hendry in something that is just absolutely unheard of for the WWE. That's what I'm doing.
It works for them though. It money wise, it works for them. It does.
No, yeah, I'd have to agree, bro. I really do. I don't know if they could sell merch though for him, but to have
I don't know.
NXT on TNA and I think it's
though. That future lock. Like we gave you that title. Remember, we love you.
Yeah, I think so. All right, guys, that wraps up our predictions. Before we close out tonight's show, Gonzo, do you have any final thoughts you would like to say about tonight's show or any topic that we did not discuss that you want to bring to light?
No, I think we covered everything for the most part, at least tonight. So I didn't have anything additional to add.
Okay. Very good. Angel, do you have any final thoughts on tonight's show?
Yeah. I'm more excited for No Mercy than I am for Bash in Berlin. Is that weird?
No, I am too. I think it's going to be the better PLE.
Right? Like I don't know. It's not to say that the Bash in Berlin matches are bad, but there's just more exciting potential for No Mercy. I guess it's less predictable. That's it for that.
I agree.
What were you gonna say? Okay.
No, I said I agree.
Cool. All right, that was it for WWE as far as live events. I know you're all waiting for a speed update, and here it comes. First things first, they have announced there will be a women's speed division starting next week, September 4th. and they will have a tournament to give out their own title that you guys will never see because you don't watch X. Now, as far as the men's division, we had the semifinal, aka the final of the bracket, to face Andrade today, and it was Javon Evans versus. Can you guys guess?
Oh my God, Pete Dunne.
Yes, sir. Versus Pete Dunne. And by the way, before I start shitting on all this whole thing, this might have been the best match of Speed since they've started it. Check it out if you can. It's only a 3-minute match, obviously, but everyone's saying it's like the best Speed match so far for sure. Like Javon is made for this stuff. He only had one match before this because there was a bye, so he only had 2 matches in this tournament. He was supposed to have 3. But thanks to Theory and Ford, they freaking tied, so he got sent all the way to Pete Dunne. But it was a really good match, like really good for a 3-minute match. And can you guys guess who won? Any guesses?
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne will be facing Andrade this Friday for the championship on X.
My man's a
It's
monster.
time for Pete Dunne. The dude can't lose right now. He's
Oh my
producing
God,
everything.
dude. This is nuts.
He's gonna be multi-champion, bro. Here it comes. He's gonna have a title on each freaking brand.
This is crazy to me, dude. This is nuts.
That's all I got to say this week.
The Miz losing to this superstar, it's not an anomaly then. The only person that could possibly stop Pete Dunne is the tsunami.
Pete Dunne can only lose to Joe Hendry at this point.
Dude, honestly, that would be amazing if the tsunami stops Pete Dunne. He just tells me, like, dude, just shut up. Like, I'm done with you. And just annihilates him on Raw. That'd be
He needs to
amazing.
just change his name to the Tsunami at this point.
But whatever. All right. 2 things from me. Number 1, The Miz needs to change brands to SmackDown, and I need a Miz Cody Rhodes feud for the championship.
100%.
Otherwise,
Even
Miz
if he
just
loses,
needs.
I don't care. He just needs to be in that picture.
Yeah.
Dude. It's crazy.
Otherwise, Miz just needs to just be like, dude, what's better? I mean, do I want to perform? Just go to TNA or AEW at this point. But I know the money's there for him, so I understand why he probably stays and just takes all these bumps. But the Miz is a 2-time Grand Slam champion. The Miz can cut promos better than 99% of the roster. Give him his due.
I think before he leaves or retires, whatever it is, he needs to be the all-time Intercontinental holder. Is there anyone else that is bigger than him in that belt to you guys in the history?
Yeah, Chris Jericho. Yes.
No.
Chris Jericho.
Miz.
Yes.
No, Miz is over him as the IC champ.
Really?
Jericho is too much of a world champ. It wasn't the IC. The IC title is Miz. I'm sorry. You ask anybody.
I don't know,
the IC
bro.
title. The IC title is Miz. Jericho has too many other things in his career.
I don't know, man.
Been his title.
You and I pretty much agree on almost everything Miz, but I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Okay. The Miz only held the WWE title once or twice?
Twice. He's a 2-time champion. He's a 2-time champion.
Jericho had it 5 times?
6-time champion.
And
6
undisputed.
times?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and the first
Jericho
ever undisputed. Jericho was the first person to beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. Just letting you guys know. I just want to put that out there.
First person, the only person.
My second.
IC title is Miz. That's it. That's all
I don't think so.
That's
That's something that we're gonna have to just go back and forth for our life.
You, Gonzo?
He
Gonzo.
hit.
Don't shut up, Gonzo. Who's the IC title to you?
To spite Mark, we're going to go with The Miz.
God, why do you always have to say spiteful shit? Just use facts.
You know what? You guys want to talk about this? Let's talk about it. If you can give me one feud, all right, just one, that is not Daniel Bryan for that Intercontinental Championship that Miz had, that you could just recall to your head, then I might even just discuss it with you.
Cena for the IC title?
I don't know. You want to know why? Because it's not memorable.
I'm pretty sure they had a really good match for that one. I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it was IC title on the line for that one.
So
I'd have to double check.
My last final thought, TNA NXT crossover, Riley Osborne. Do you guys know who Riley Osborne is?
Sounds like a familiar name.
No, I do not.
Exactly. He's a Chase U extra that has qualified for the Ultimate X match in TNA. If you guys don't know what the
Is that like
Ultimate
the street
X,
title?
I'm trying to tell you. If you guys don't know what the Ultimate X match is, so it is for the X Division Championship that AJ Styles made famous. All right, it's a mid card belt, and what the match is it's two ropes and an X suspended above the ring, and the championship's in the middle of it. And in order for you to get that belt, you cannot use a ladder. You literally have to fucking crawl with on the rope with your legs just like this to get to that championship. Riley Osborne of Chase has qualified for that match. The winner of that match can either A, keep the X Division Championship, or B, use a clause called Option C, where you give up the championship and you get a guaranteed TNA World Championship title shot. And the person that NXT sent over was a Chase U Extra. I just want to put that out there. A Chase U Extra.
Why didn't you send your boy the DJ? Why didn't he get to go over there for that?
So Ultimate X is a amazing match. If you guys have never seen it, YouTube them. AJ Styles literally was amazing in those matches. To send somebody like a Chase U Extra over there to compete in such a prestigious match for TNA, it's kind of a slap in the face in my opinion. But that is all. All right, so closing out tonight, guys, we want to appreciate you guys for joining us for episode 27 of the SmackTalk Wrestling Podcast. Gonzo, I want to tell everybody where we can find you and what you got going on.
As far as where you can find me, it's going to be the Trolley Cave. Usually that's where I go to piss Marc off most of my days. I got to make sure that his blood pressure rises and falls steadily. Sometimes it spikes. So again, I think that's my sole purpose on this planet. If it's not pissing off him, then it's pissing off my wife. So I literally go back and forth.
It was very successful tonight.
Hey, I've been sparing you for the last several weeks. So you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. As far as the names here, you got the Raising Personalities. That's the one that you can definitely get to most frequently. The only name that's different is going to be the X account. That's going to be the David_MA_LCPC. But the other ones are all Raising Personalities. So that's me for tonight.
You can catch them, on that Twitch, streaming that Yu-Gi-Oh.
Might be tonight, to be truthful with you.
Let's do it.
Got a lot to talk about. Chicken
Let's
game.
Let's do it. All right, Angel, why don't you tell everybody what you got going on and where we could find you?
You can find me streaming on Twitch and Kick at this underscore here, right here, A_OK Gaming on both, and also on all socials, playing college football, playing Yu-Gis with these guys. 2K's coming out. We'll see what else we got going on. That's it.
Yeah, we're definitely probably going to get on the 2Ks, even though we all bitch and moan about that game. It's probably the coolest game. Still probably the coolest game you guys could play together. I mean, that 5v5 is just really cool. Hopefully we get Gonzo on it too. It'll be
2K?
pretty dope.
I don't want to break anything, so I rather not.
It's pretty fun. I mean, to play the 5v5.
He doesn't want Ray for Austin flashback.
You've already told I don't know how many people already on this airway that I've smashed a $300 Pokemon special edition Game Boy, so I don't need any other things. My whole room is surrounded by expensive memorabilia, so I can't afford to smash anything at this time.
It would have been dope if that expensive memorabilia was right behind you of a Pikachu limited edition Game Boy.
I've got Pokemon Red, Blue, Gold, and Silver, the original complete in boxes, so I need to keep that completely out of harm's way from me. So,
well, it would have been cool if it was sitting in between a Pikachu special edition Game Boy in which you broke, but Anyway, it's your boy Pro Wrestling Kingpin. You know where to find me. All social media. Very active on the X, on PLEs. We got a double PLE weekend. So come hang out with your boy on X. Let's talk about the PLE. Other than that, you'll see me, gaming with AOK Gaming here and there. Probably going to do some Yu-Gis tonight. Maybe we'll see how that goes. 2K coming up, and also streaming the WWE 2K24 game. But until then, we will see you not next week, unfortunately, unless we do an earlier show for the PLEs. Angel and I are going out of town, so if we don't do a show right after the PLEs, you will not see us for 2 weeks. But remember, go ahead and stream us on YouTube or listen to us on Spotify. Look out for the clips, comments, on any of our social medias for next week's guest wrestler, or next time's the guest wrestler. But until then, acknowledge your tribal chief and
OTC.
say his name, and he will appear. Peace out.
The GOAT.